What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel, Myfiitlifestyle. Raymarian here, showing you the good, the bad, and the ugly of my fitness journey. So, yes, starting all over again. Life gets in the way. Injuries, inflammation, arthritis, gout, you name it. It's all in the body, especially when you're in the mid 40s. You'll feel it. It sucks that I was in my early 30s that I felt so much pain. I started with the gout, and it's all the poor bad habits, the food that I eat, the lack of exercise, the lack of movement, sitting down on the job. It all adds up, right? And then if you don't get yourself physically fit, you don't even go for a walk, you don't exercise, you don't stretch, you don't eat properly, all those things will accumulate and you will pay for it at the end of the day. The point of this channel is to help you guys out to hopefully learn something from a person that's actually going through all that pain. Like I said, I'm in my mid 40s and I have knee problems, ankle problems, inflammation all the time, gout, arthritis, and taking some pills. For the longest time I didn't want to take allopurinol. That's for the inflammation, to reduce the uric acid in the body. But I just realized that to take those because you need to get rid of some of those uric acid for you to be less inflamed. I didn't want to take it because I thought, I could just go eat healthier and exercise, sweat it out. But you know what? I just keep getting injured and I feel so stiff all the time, even though I do stretch almost every day. So I gave up and I just started drinking the pills. Hopefully I'll be able to get rid of it in the future, just go naturally in the future. But you have to be consistent. You got to keep working at it. You got to be, you got to try. There's going to be days that when you don't want to do the workout, when you don't want to exercise, when you feel cold and your body's in pain, you're tired, you didn't get no sleep. You just got to remind yourself why you got to do it. You have to find something that inspires you, something that motivates you to keep going. That's the reason for this channel. So hopefully we can all keep that up, maintain that. I know the exercises, there's so many exercises out there. I just watch videos and then, do the exercise that I feel like would benefit me for the day. I don't have a certain routine. I don't have, I'll work on my arms and then my legs the next day or something. It would be good that if you had a format, right? And it wouldn't be smart to be working on your legs 3 days in a row, right? Or your arms But I do suggest that you do work out on your legs more often than not because that carries your whole body. And I feel that is the weakest point for me. My knees and my ankles always hurt all the time. Sometimes even going up and down the stairs, right? So I know it's very, very weak. That goes for my hips, my glutes, right? The calves, all that parts. We have to slowly work on it so that you could walk properly and you could stand properly, you could run properly. All those things are connected. It's not just the knee, it's not just the ankle, right? That's something you got to work on. Oh man, look at all these rash. That's all from the meds I've been taking. Look at that. I don't feel that good, but I just got to keep continuing, hopefully making these videos, keep going at it. Majority of the exercises I show, I'm going to rank it from day one to whenever. It doesn't mean that you got to do these things every day. Although I do recommend you doing it every day and just do it lighter, right? You have to do something every day, whether that be walking, running, going on a treadmill, going for a walk, right? Or doing a sport. And then exercising, lifting weights, stretching, right? You have to do something every day. And you don't have to do all these workouts all together or the same way I did it, right? You could always mix and match, especially the ab exercises. There's only so much you could do, right? So whatever you feel you're comfortable with, to go with that, right? So in the majority of the exercises I do, it's gonna be about 3 sets of usually 10 to 20 reps of each workout, depending on the type of exercise. Sometimes I'll go with a lighter weight and do more reps. It all depends on what your situation is. You got to go what feels right for you And you always consult the doctor just in case, if any medical issues. Again, I'm not a professional, I'm just an ordinary guy trying to share with you guys what I feel like works for me so that you won't make the same mistakes. Yeah, see, these are the meds because I hurt my knee a couple weeks ago, and now had to drink some for inflammation. And this is what happens, I didn't have enough water, I guess, and it dehydrates my face. That's how I get all these rashes. It also could be the weather, but I'm feeling better now, so hopefully we'll continue again. Don't let a small thing stop you from working out because you have to. You need to keep going, all right? So just try to follow it as much as possible, especially the food. Consume better food, less oil, less fast food, less fat, less frozen food with lots of preservatives. Cut those things. Sugar and salt, cut that too. It doesn't mean that you have to stop, just minimize it. Just eat more veggies, less meat, more fruits. I try to do some shakes, mix and match. Cut down also on bread and rice. So that's something, especially for me with the gout, there's so many things I cannot eat. So I got to minimize all that stuff, right? On the fast food, better cut that down because that's really the big thing. Also pop and beer, right? Again, there's so much things that we need to stop eating and drinking. And you know which ones they are, right? You know what's not good for you. If anything, any food that has more than 3 ingredients or 5 ingredients, those are full of preservatives. You shouldn't technically eat those stuff, or at least minimize consuming those things. All right. Stretches, also stretches. Make sure you try to do it almost every day, especially the legs. Again, doing squats, I feel like all the way to the ground squats, that really helps big time. And your sleep, it's very important to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep every day. And vitamins, you may not like it, but you should take some of the vitamins, especially the D. I have magnesium. That's one of the things I take. So, all right. With that said, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace.